For our ancestors, the mere exposure effect was adaptive. What was familiar was generally safe and approachable. What was unfamiliar was more often dangerous and threatening. Evolution seems to have hardwired into us the tendency to bond with those who are familiar and to be wary of those who are unfamiliar. Zajonc, 1998. Gut-level prejudice against those culturally different may thus be a primitive, automatic emotional response. Devine, 1995. It's what we do with our knee-jerk prejudice that matters, suggest researchers. Do we let those feelings control our behavior, or do we monitor our feelings and act in ways that reflect our conscious valuing of human equality? Physical attractiveness. Once proximity affords you contact, what most affects your first impressions? The person's sincerity, intelligence, personality? Hundreds of experiments reveal that it is something far more superficial. Appearance. For people taught that beauty is only skin deep and that appearances can be deceiving, the power of physical attractiveness is unnerving. In one early study, Elaine Hatfield and her co-workers, Walster et al., 1966, randomly matched new University of Minnesota students for a Welcome Week dance. Before the dance, each student took a battery of personality and aptitude tests. On the night of the blind date, the couples danced and talked for more than 2 hours and then took a brief intermission to rate their dates. What determined whether they liked each other? As far as the researchers could determine, only one thing mattered: physical attractiveness, which had been rated by the researchers beforehand. Both the men and the women liked good-looking dates best. Although women are more likely than men to say that another's looks don't affect them, Lippa, 2007, a man's looks do affect women's behavior. Feingold, 1990, Sprecher, 1989, Wohl, 1986. Recent speed dating experiments confirm that attractiveness influences first impressions for both sexes. Bellet and Francesconi, 2006, Finkel and Eastwick, 2008. Personal beauty is a greater recommendation than any letter of introduction. Aristotle, Apothegms, 1330 BCE. People's physical attractiveness also predicts their frequency of dating, their feelings of popularity, and others' initial impressions of their personalities. We perceive attractive people to be healthier, happier, more sensitive, more successful, and more socially skilled, though not more honest or compassionate. Egley et al., 1991, Feingold, 1992, Hatfield and Sprecher, 1986. Attractive, well-dressed people are more likely to make a favorable impression on potential employers and to enjoy occupational success. Cash and Janda, 1984, Langlois et al., 2000, Solomon, 1987. Income analysis show a penalty for plainness or obesity and a premium for beauty. Engelman and Ouyang, 2005. An analysis of 100 top-grossing films since 1940 found that attractive characters were portrayed as morally superior to unattractive characters, Smith et al., 1999. But Hollywood modeling doesn't explain why, to judge from their gazing times, even babies prefer attractive over unattractive faces. Langlois et al., 1987. So do some blind people, as University of Birmingham professor John Hull, 1990, page 23, discovered after going blind. A colleague's remarks on a woman's beauty would strangely affect his feelings. He found this deplorable. What can it matter to me what sighted men think of women? Yet I do care what sighted men think, and I do not seem able to throw off this prejudice. The importance of looks seems unfair and unenlightened. Why should it matter? 2,000 years ago, the Roman statesman Cicero felt the same way. The final good and the supreme duty of the wise person is to resist appearance. Cicero might be reassured by two other findings. First, people's attractiveness is surprisingly unrelated to their self-esteem and happiness. Diener et al., 1995, Major et al., 1984. One reason may be that, except after comparing themselves with super attractive people, few people, thanks perhaps to the mere exposure effect, view themselves as unattractive. Thornton and Moore, 1993. Another reason is that strikingly attractive people are sometimes suspicious that praise for their work may simply be a reaction to their looks. When less attractive people are praised, they are more likely to accept it as sincere. Bearscheid, 1981. Cicero might also find comfort in knowing that attractiveness judgments are relative. The standards by which judges crown Miss Universe hardly apply to the whole planet. Rather, beauty is in the eye of the culture. Our standards for beauty reflect our time and place. Hoping to look attractive, people in different cultures have pierced their noses, lengthened their necks, bound their feet, and dyed or painted their skin and hair. They have gorged themselves to achieve a full figure or liposuction fat to achieve a slim one, applied chemicals hoping to rid themselves of unwanted hair or to regrow wanted hair, strapped on leather garments to make their breasts seem smaller, or surgically filled their breasts with silicone and put on wonder bras to make them look bigger. For women in North America, the ultra-thin ideal of the Roaring Twenties gave way to the soft, voluptuous Marilyn Monroe ideal of the 1950s, only to be replaced by today's lean yet busty ideal. Americans now spend more on beauty supplies than on education and social services combined, and, when still not satisfied, undergo 12 million cosmetic medical treatments each year, including plastic surgery, Botox skin smoothing, and laser hair removal, not even counting procedures for teeth capping or whitening. ASAP's 2008. But the result of the beauty race since 1970 has been that more and more women feel unhappy with their appearance. Feingold and Mazzella, 1998. Some aspects of attractiveness, however, do cross place and time. Cunningham et al., 2005, Langlois et al., 2000. As we noted in Unit 3C, men in a wide range of cultures, from Australia to Zambia, judge women as more attractive if they have a youthful appearance. Women feel attracted to healthy-looking men, but especially to those who seem mature, dominant, and affluent. People everywhere also seem to prefer physical features, noses, legs, physiques, that are neither unusually large nor small. An average face is attractive, figure 14.4. In one clever demonstration of this, Judith Langlois and Lori Rogman, 1990, digitized the faces of up to 32 college students and used a computer to average them. Students judged the average composite faces as more attractive than 96% of the individual faces. One reason is that average faces are more symmetrical, and people with symmetrical faces and bodies are more sexually attractive. Rhodes et al., 1999, Singh, 1995, Thornhill and Gangstad, 1994. Merge either half of your face with its mirror image, and your symmetrical new face would boost your attractiveness a notch. Cultural standards aside, attractiveness also depends on our feelings about the person. If led to believe that someone has appealing traits, such as being honest, humorous, and polite, rather than rude, unfair, and abusive, people perceive the person as more physically attractive. Lewandowski et al., 2007. In a Rodgers and Hammerstein musical, Prince Charming asks Cinderella, "Do I love you because you're beautiful, or are you beautiful because I love you?" Chances are it's both. As we see our loved ones again and again, their physical imperfections grow less noticeable and their attractiveness grows more apparent. Beeman and Clentz, 1983, Gross and Crofton, 1977. Shakespeare said it in A Midsummer Night's Dream. Love looks not with the eyes, but with the mind. Come to love someone and watch beauty grow. Similarity. Let's say that proximity has brought you into contact with someone and that your appearance has made an acceptable first impression. What now influences whether acquaintances develop into friends? For example, as you get to know someone better, is the chemistry better if you are opposites or if you are alike? Love has ever in view the absolute loveliness of that which it beholds. George MacDonald, Unspoken Sermons, 1867. It makes a good story, extremely different types living in harmonious union, rat, mole, and badger in The Wind and the Willows, frog and toad in Arnold Lowell's books. The stories delight us by expressing what we seldom experience, for we tend not to like dissimilar people. Rosenbaum, 1986. In real life, opposites retract. Birds that flock together usually are of a feather. Friends and couples are far more likely to share common attitudes, beliefs, and interests, and for that matter, age, religion, race, education, intelligence, smoking behavior, and economic status, than are randomly paired people. Moreover, the more alike people are, the more their liking endures. Byrne, 1971. Journalist Walter Lippmann was right to suppose that love is best sustained when the lovers love many things together and not merely each other. Similarity breeds content. Dissimilarity often fosters disfavor, which helps explain many straight men's disapproval of gay men who are doubly dissimilar from themselves in sexual orientation and gender roles. LaHavitt and Lambert, 2007. Proximity, attractiveness, and similarity are not the only determinants of attraction. We also like those who like us. This is especially so when our self-image is low. When we believe someone likes us, we feel good and respond to them warmly, which leads them to like us even more. Curtis and Miller, 1986. To be liked is powerfully rewarding. Indeed, a simple reward theory of attraction, that we will like those whose behavior is rewarding to us and that we will continue relationships that offer more rewards than costs, can explain all the findings we have considered so far. When a person lives or works in close proximity with someone else, it costs less time and effort to develop the friendship and enjoy its benefits. Attractive people are aesthetically pleasing, and associating with them can be socially rewarding. Those with similar views reward us by validating our own.